Hello, hello, Rise and Thrivers. Welcome to Monday evening. It's May 25th, and it is Memorial Day evening. And before we even start the show, we're going to take a moment to just honor all of our fallen men and women who have literally provided this moment in time in our life to be blessed with the freedoms for our country. So we're just going to take a moment of silence before we start. All right. Thank you so much for taking that moment. And here we are at Rise and Thrive Together.
Before
Just
we
in
go
case.
into greeting
Yeah.
and welcoming all the new
Yeah.
people,
Yeah.
let's just also remember that Memorial Day did not just start. It's also about the people of color who fought, served, gave their lives, and were just buried without any acknowledgement. So we acknowledge them here as well. And that started the Memorial Day. So just want to throw that out there.
Thank you, sis. That's so important. This is the whole point about having two people to just keep on growing and rising and thriving together. So thanks for putting that in there. Awesome. Well, here we are together on this evening on our coast of Eastern Standard Time. And we are Raquel and Regina. And welcome to Rise and Thrive Together. And just in case you need a little bit of remembering who we are Rise and Thrive Together, a committed and vibrant community that is out to educate and empower and equip you to have the results that you want through taking real actions and having real talk. And that's who we are today. So, hey, good to see you. Here it is, our last and final Monday of the month of May. And as we get to start off on a perfect timing about the Beyond the Ask and in the month of mental health, taking on our new actions that we've taken for our mental health and well being of our new summer schedule. Sis, you want to remind our viewers, just in case they're listening now, and of course on the replay?
Absolutely. So just like they do on talk shows, Reg and I are taking the summer, not off, but starting in June, we will be just recording on the first Monday of it will be live the first Monday of each month. So June, whatever that first Monday is, will be live. And then for the rest of June will be the best of, or if we have a guest, we'll do a pre-recorded show and put it up. July, rinse and repeat. The first Monday, we will be live and in color. And thereafter, again, the best of Rise and Thrive Together for the rest of July and August. Again, rinse and repeat. So the first Monday in August, Reg and I will be live. And then for, you guessed it, for the rest of August, we will be putting up videos from the best of Rise and Thrive Together. And that is super important because one, it allows us to enjoy the summer, which is pretty much 2 weeks. I don't care about June, July, August, especially for us up here in the north. Yeah. And two, it gives us an opportunity to come back refreshed because, as you may or may not know, this is not the only thing that we do. We have other commitments, other responsibilities, and now we get to pay them some attention. And I am super stoked. As much as we love being here with you every Monday, it is going to be refreshing to have some time to do other things.
Yes, so that is what's happening for us. And that literally is starting next week. The next time, one Monday from exactly today, will be the 1st of June. So we will be putting that up on Instagram, on our Instagram account. We'll be putting it up on our Rise and Thrive Together Facebook page and in our community and everywhere else that Raquel and I have social media as a reminder, and we'll always be mentioning it here. So there you go. We're ready. And it kind of flies right into what we are talking about. It's kind of interesting that it's,
Before we do mental health,
yeah.
did May seem like really long, or is
No,
it just
you
me?
and I, you and I had different perspectives, but as you've seen back onto each week, I was like, I can't believe it's Monday. I can't believe it's already the middle of. I would say today's the only day I officially will say today went fast. Um, and this weekend, the weekend went long for me. I think because I'm used to working at my regular classes on Monday, and it's like nice to have an extra day. Like Friday, I get home at 5. And I'll never really call that a weekend, right? Because it's like Saturday, Sunday, get ready. So today, but no, this month I feel like it didn't fly. I felt like it was flying by. And then after you've been mentioning that a lot, I think you thank you for mentioning it a lot. So I kind of equaled it out. It was like a nice month for me. It was,
It seemed pretty long
yeah,
for me because a lot has happened. It just was really a long month. So I am looking forward to not just next Monday, but our summer schedule. I'm really looking forward to that. Not like it's going to be easier, but a lot has happened, and I've had a lot of questions, concerns about things that are going on in the world. Like you all, if you're not aware, you're living under a rock. Reg can clean up what I just said. I'm asking her not to do that. I'm asking her to say, leave it alone. It's like you're living under a rock if you don't understand what's going on, especially as it relates to people of color
yeah.
and trying to take away our voting rights. They've already had that Supreme Court ruling earlier this month, and now they are looking to go ahead and take away the 14th Amendment. So that's what I have my hands full with coming up, especially as June 2nd is the in person elections. So lots going on.
Absolutely. And super, super important. Um, to really get involved. I think it's perfect in our thing about mental health. It really, really is. Because as you can hear what Raquel's saying, important to her and important to, I would say, many people out there, especially our viewers. Many of our viewers who've been watching us for a long time are very, very vocal about what matters to them. And we've talked about the importance of voting. Here we are on Memorial Day, right? Having this conversation about people who've lost their lives, people who haven't even been recognized, and that were just literally, and then we're talking of people of color that were just buried and like non-existent. And that conversation is really important when you're talking about mental health. I don't know about you, and Raquel and I are being honest here and tell us, feel free. Like it sometimes, right, especially listening into it this way, can impact our mental health. And so we make a difference. She makes a difference by having all of that, on her plate and what she's doing in her communities and getting people and ready to vote on June 2nd. We have different dates for ourselves here, but myself was involved with a couple of people who are our local, representatives, and it's really important that myself and my family, and we've gone to many things to have our voices be heard, be seen, know these freedoms, and we don't take them for granted, right? And that at least, I'll be honest, I used to be someone where I'm like, I don't know what to do, right? Like, I don't know what to do. Yes, we grew up with, you can write a letter, make phone calls. Those are amazing. Like, those are amazing things to do. I have people in my life every day that are calling and leaving messages and calling and calling. And that just didn't meet for myself, feel like there's enough. So I made a commitment. I don't know, I don't remember, Raquel, a couple of years ago that I was like, I'm going to find out who my local representative is. And then now we're really good friends. Our family are really good friends. I'm really happy to say that, for Florida, she fought for our voices around domestic violence, not just for women, but there are men as well involved who get into domestic violence situations where their lives feel threatened and have literally almost lost their lives and have lost their lives, and has added an extra layer of protection. And that has been a long fight. And now it is passed in Florida state and is being, and now she's fighting to have that in other places like your state of New Jersey and other places as well. So big stuff happening. That's why we need these Mondays. We need these Mondays. Take a big breath on that one. All right. Well, here we are, sis. It's quiet. I think a lot of people are doing whatever they're doing. So I don't have any really questions or people saying anything right now. But we did say last week that we were going to kind of have this conversation. How I think it was Susan who said it last week about how people kind of mingle the definitions of mental health and mental illness.
Mm.
Right? And that there's really just a big distinction between the two of them. Just quickly, it's like, mental illness is a diagnosable health condition, right? It can be like, as they say, it's characterized by alterations in thinking or mood and behavior associated with stress or impaired functioning. And we'll have like some diagnoses can be depression, anxiety, PTSD, of a different type of disorders. And the mental health piece of that is like a psychological, emotional, and a social well-being. It is a spectrum that fluctuates daily. It's about how you handle stress, relate to others, bounce back from adversity, and make choices. Everyone has mental health. Not everyone has a diagnosable health condition. And I feel like in our show with all these years, we really have this overall core conversation that is around mental health. Like kind of talk about the overall everyday, how we've had guests on that help us talk about how we handle stress or how we communicate better, right? We just finished a couple of months on communication. How do we bounce back from adversity? How, like, we've been talking for this past month about, why are we saying yes and honoring the asks that we want to have the results that we want in our life, or why are we not doing that? It's all about choices and decision making and communication as an overall thing. I feel like a lot of our show focuses on that. Oh, and I think somebody has come in. If you have
So
anything
while
to
we're
say
doing this, let me just give some stats about.
yes, please.
So 1 in 5 American adults experience a mental illness every single year. 20% more likely Black Americans to experience severe distress, yet are least likely to seek support. 50% of all mental illnesses begin by age 14. By 24, that number significantly increases to 75%.
Wow.
So, meaning on a block, you can have at least 2 people who have a mental illness. Like Red says, every single person has mental health that can fluctuate, but it's kind of like physical health, right? You're not healthy all the time. And sometimes mentally, you're not healthy because you're stressed. There's some kind of stress. There may be some, I feel sad. I'm kind of down. I'm kind of bummed. Something didn't happen the way I thought it would. And that's really not the same. So now that Reg gave you the definition, let's be mindful of how we use mental health and how we use mental illness, because they're not synonymous, and you interchangeably
Right.
use the words.
I'm so blown away. Thank you for the stats, because it's been a while since I've been up on the stats of anything for a lot of different things, but specifically for that, I cannot believe that. Can you say the number again? By the age of 14?
Yep, 50% of all mental illness begins by age 14. By 24, it's 75%.
Before the age of 14. That is mind blowing, right? And that's a whole show on like reasons why, right? Very complicated. It's not a black and white. Here's the top. We can come up with different, things, but very complicated. But I'm still just blown away by that. And for someone who works with a lot of kids, is it my daughter's in school? I'm, now looking at her school, and knowing that like 50% of those kids, right, in her school, can get a diagnosis. So she has 1,100 kids in school. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's half of her class of the whole school.
Here's something that we all share. I don't want to single out any particular group. That's not
Yeah.
what we're here to do. But we all know what it feels like to be tired in a way that sleep doesn't fix. Meaning, we're not necessarily talking about I'm physically tired because I worked 9 hours today and it was a hard 9 hours. Some of us are sick and tired of an area of our life. And it gets to the point where when we are sick and tired of being sick and tired, we get into action, right? Something else. We've all worn a mask outside, not a mask because of a communicable disease, but a mask like we present, like we're happy, and not that we're not happy, but we may be feeling kind of down today. We've all smiled and said, I'm fine. And women, we know what that means. When we were absolutely not fine,
Yep.
we've all stayed silent when we needed to cry out or cry out for help. So, those are some things that we've all shared that connect to mental health. We've all done it. And when people say, I'm fine, that's code for I'm not fine. I either want you to keep asking me what's wrong, so I feel like you care, or I want you to stop. So I'm just going to say I'm fine because you really don't want to hear what's going on.
Mm.
Stories that we create in our own head because of whatever it is that we are going through. Right? I want to know what y'all think about what I just said because those are things that we all share. At some point, someone's put on a smile on their face when they really don't want to smile.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. We don't have anybody in the chat yet raising their hand and saying, "Yup, me." But I can
That's
definitely,
okay. What are
yeah,
your thoughts?
yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I agree on every single one of them. I have been in every single place, every single time. Can come up on the reasons for that, including like times when you and I did the behind the scenes here. Right? We're like tired. We honest every single time. Raquel and I get on a few minutes early. Why I call it like a moment of like for us to connect because we haven't seen each other, and like almost a moment to get real with each other, and say what we need to say. I call it like a let's clear the slate, like do what we got to do because we're also committed to the show. But we're not going to just come up here like so we'll fake like the fake it till you make it kind of thing is why
Mm.
we chose to do this show and call it Rise and Thrive Together Real Talk. Because we don't want to fake it till we make it. We want to just be on here. Like when inside, we can be on here and be honest. We can be on here and say we're tired. We can be on here to say, hey, and do that commitment, right? But we also have chosen many times that one of us are not on for whatever reason that is. And it's rare. I think in the 3 years I can count on how many times we haven't been really on because we take care of our well being. I'm going to say our overall well being. Someone is sick, like not good to come on camera, you know, and something is happening in our world that matters to us that we need to be there. And our capacity of helping others' well being and their own mental health, like that's that. So yeah, I mean, I have been in everyone that you have said, smiled, and oh my goodness, talk about, being aware of, mental health and mental illness, that whole I'm fine. I can't believe how many times I said that last week. And it's
Mm,
so automatic. It's
mm,
so automatic. And I was like, I don't know what happened, but it was toward the end of the week where I was like, am I fine? Like because I've said it so many times. I really was, but I was almost
mm.
disassociated from like just like you said, just nobody asked me anything. I'm tired. Like, don't ask me anything. I really was overall fine. Like everything is good, but I was so tired that it was just you said like almost this wall. This wall. I'm
Ouch.
fine. So it's like, let's start class now. Please don't
Right.
ask me anything. Right? Like don't ask me anything. And then I remember getting in the car. It was Thursday because I remember getting in the car and I remember calling Josh. I got home like way later because I just sat there and I didn't realize like how tired I was. Like I was just like, I just need to just be here. I mean, I did communicate, but way later, like way later. So this whole I'm fine, I wasn't. Like I was super tired and pushing through. So yeah, thank you for that. It's so automatic. It's so automatic.
Mhm. So I kind of want to, I have something here that I want you guys to check in with and realize where you are. We all know a traffic light, I hope, right? Traffic light, three colors. What are the three colors? Green, yellow, red. So green light means you're doing well, you're coping effectively, you're connected, you're sleeping, you're grounded in your faith and your community. You can still protect your green light when it's green. What does the yellow light mean?
Slow down, cautious.
Yeah. So the yellow light means there's a struggle that's going on, whether I'm stressed, I'm grieving, I'm anxious, I'm overwhelmed, and I need support. I may need rest, and
Hmm.
I may need a real community. When we realize, and you realize when you're at yellow, if you're in tune with yourself, when we're at yellow, this is the time to act. This is not the time to try to push through it alone, because if we could handle it on our own, we would not be in yellow. We would be handling the first time we notice it, right? It's kind of like um, a car engine, a car. When we look on our dashboard, we know something's wrong with the car, the vehicle. How? How do we know something's wrong with our vehicle when we look at the dash?
Oh, I mean, like that's what they put all those wonderful computer lights and stuff that's in there for you.
Something lights up on your
Yeah.
dashboard,
Hmm.
and it's an indication that something is going on with your vehicle. And what do most of us do?
I used to, not anymore, but I used to be like, yeah, later on, that tire thing, that tire like low tire, I can make it to over here. And as I go and drive, boom, bump, 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 bump.
Yeah,
Or oh, the oil, one more day, one more day. Gaslight, oh, it's low. Then stuck, and then have to call and be like, hey, can you come and get or walk
right.
in the rain? Oh, so many times when I was younger. Holy cow.
See? And it's no difference now, right?
Yeah, just
Some
happened.
of us know when we're experiencing these things, when our mental health is not as healthy as it could be, and we get that light on our dashboard and we ignore it because I can push through, I can get through this.
Hmm.
Hmm. And then we get to what's next? Get to red. Red light means crisis mode. It's experiencing severe symptoms, thoughts, different thoughts. um, this is a moment where you need professional assistance. You need to now talk to someone because you are not functioning at the capacity that is beneficial to you. You're not functioning at a capacity that you can help anybody. And it signifies the boop, 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 boop that Reg heard. That means she has a flat tire. right? The fact that she has to call Josh to come and get her means she ain't put gas in the car, and her car can only go but so far. Everybody's vehicle can only go but so far without gas. Even the people who have electric vehicles, if you don't charge that up, good luck to you.
Yep.
Okay. So we need to be mindful of where we are when it comes to our mental health. Are we in the green state where things are cool? Are we in the yellow where, okay, I need to handle some stuff? And that may mean just calling a friend, calling a trusted person, whoever that is. Because once it gets red, that means we are no longer functioning at a capacity where we are mentally healthy. We need assistance to get back to being mentally healthy.
Yeah.
Does that make sense to everyone? Good. Notice I ask and answer at the same time. But let's start paying and getting in touch with ourselves. I know I'm guilty of this. So last week, after our show, I had I was green,
Yep.
and then I got yellow, and then red, not from my mental health, but my physical health. Physical health can definitely impact your mental health as well. They are connected. Okay. And I ended up in the ER Monday night after our show. Thankfully, I'm fine. Most of you are like, well, what happened? You don't pay me enough to tell you what happened. But I had a kidney stone, which is super painful. And I, like some people, thought it's only gas. It was not gas. So when I was in thinking I'm green, I was actually in yellow. But I'm good for a week so far. So I don't know where the stone is. Let's leave it at that.
But that's a perfect example because I was thinking of that about that when you were talking about the red yellow. When we were saying, it's physical too because they really are connected. You know, how do you not like? We were on the phone. We were on the phone. We were right here, and we did go on the phone. And you were like,
Hmm.
I'm in some pain. You're like, I'm just uncomfortable. I don't know what it is, and it that starts to impact your mental health, right? Because right now, pain. Like you can't tell me, oh, I'm in lots of pain, and just be like, la la la. You were just like,
Right.
it goes hand in hand and that quickly. I do want to go back to something though. Susan, I've had her comment up because she's when you were talking about the whole fine thing. And
Hmm.
Susan, you're very correct. I've had it up here for a long time. She's like, how many jokes are out there about women when they say, she's fine? She's fine. I love comedy shows. I watch a lot. I listen to a lot. Definitely Instagram, definitely. We already have a show when we're done here to watch. And there are many comedians, women
Hmm.
and men, and many women, good comedians, talking about that whole thing about fine, fine. We even have comedians that are joking about it, but the women comedians are out there to like inside their jokes because it's the painful part of the truth that we're not fine.
Right.
That's what they're talking about. They're not fine. And that we use that as a way. And we've, you know, done that for so long. So, that big ask when we say, like, open up
Mm.
your mouth, it's like now it's no longer like being fine. Take that breath, do what you got to do. But, like, don't go behind the default for me. Like, I didn't even realize how many times I said it. Like, so many times.
But I'm so proud of you because now you recognize it.
No, it was crazy that you said it. I just was like, Like, I didn't even think about it until this conversation. That's what I love about it because I was like,
Hmm.
And then I started clicking and clicking and clicking in, and I was like, oh, yeah. And I really can see it. I'm like looking at it right now. I'm like flying back through it. I literally by Thursday, because that's like by toward the end of all my classes, I was juiced that like a right away. Someone's like, hey, how are you? I'm like, I'm good. Like I'm fine. Just like as that wall, like, don't come near me. We're gonna start class. The wall is up.
Right.
Like a drummer in a band where they have that beautiful little, thing around them, the case around them. If you see those really famous rock stars, don't go near the drummer. I was like, just stay in your space. No, I appreciate it. So this is really great. This is really great. So Important conversations.
How can we protect our mental health? Any ideas?
Are you talking to me? Anybody else?
I'm talking to you.
um, well, for me, I'm always saying that the big part of that is I have to be so. It's all that my internal self awareness because I gotta like so this even conversation now, right? Always learning, growing, all of that. Really like just checking in, and it's a part that I go back to this. Like I use this thing about default. Like I go back to this old kind of way, not taking that moment, not taking that breath, not getting present, and just
Mm.
kind of like, you know, oh, I'm thinking of I Love Lucy. I know I'm doing my age right now, but like when the candy was coming out of the machine and they just came out faster and faster and faster, the candy's coming out faster, faster, faster. That's how like my life goes, right? That's why you said this was slower. I got so much going on. It's just like sort of a get up, eat, repeat, rinse, get up, go, go, go. Seems good. It seems like, and I'm going to put some big quotes for my friends, seems good for a certain amount of time. But if I'm not present, that's just like running on fumes, like you're saying at the end of the car. Because eventually I'm like, whoa, when have I really checked in? How are you? That is a really important question, to wake up and just like check in with self. I'm
Mhm.
noticing physically first, like, because I just do so much. So in the morning, the first thing I get up and I'm like, kind of, I do this like full check in, like a doctor when they come in. I'm like, okay, I'm checking in. I feel if there's anything physically, going on. Because then I take those few minutes and I breathe through that and I do some extra stretches and stuff because I've noticed I'm not doing that as much. I'm doing it in class, but not enough for my body.
Mhm.
Um, and so that's the big thing. It's like my own check in, like my checklist. Like, so that is the most important. And because I do have a group of people that I have regular calls with and accountability with. Um, and I live with two people that know me really, really, really well. Um, they even know when I'm not like that. They'll just even be checking in like, hey, this isn't you. So it's a lot of like self awareness, a lot of self awareness work. If you don't know yourself, how is anybody else going to know?
Right.
Because everybody needs to deal with themselves, right? Like everything needs. So I'm always like, you can't depend on Josh or Lexi or you or my other friends that I speak to a lot to see how I'm doing. I gotta, I gotta be connected to me. I gotta be straight and real with me. And then, so that's a lot of things. I'm doing this new little like check in with myself in the morning and really like talking to myself out loud. I think of you often. Now I'm like out loud, less writing lately, and out loud, which is like, how am I feeling?
Right.
I'm doing some work and doing some work in the mirror in the morning too, which has been really fun. You know,
Oh.
I've been talking to myself, like looking at myself. There was something I've learned in leadership a long time ago. If you're gonna especially go out on stages and talk and be with people, you got to learn to be with yourself because you can be distracted. So I'm learning to like look at me. I mean, like really look and appreciate every part of that. Like
Mm.
every part. Because many times, I'll be honest, way back, it'd be like, oh, look at this blemish, look at this, oh my God. Like all of that negative talk. And then you'd go out into the world and wonder why you're crabby and like mean. So now it's just being with myself, but like real and then loving, and just taking breaths and being like, okay, this hurts, this hurts. And always gratitude. Gratitude to God. I am every day, gratitude for God giving me another day in this body, this breath, and take me on that journey. Yes, I have
Right.
what's on my calendar, but I honestly, mental health for me is I also let go of that wheel and know everything is taken care of. Even though I think I have everything so taken care of. Regina's calendar. And that's a whole other show I'd love to do because that's super funny. So that's been my biggest journey, I think, with youth in 3 years deeply from you and some other people. Really, like, yes, I have responsibilities and yes, I have accountability, but my faith, like really my deep faith in that and knowing that it's way beyond like everything that I think I have in control. So that's what's going on. I think I'm deepening my mental health piece. How
That's
about you?
awesome.
How about
I'd
you?
like to hear what others do to
Yeah, me
um,
too.
maintain their mental health. I know for me, sometimes it's just something different. What I realize is, and it's funny to me, there are times when I'm just overwhelmed in my head. And I'll call folks. No one answers their phone. How is it possible to like call three, four, five people and none of them answer their phone? Now, I don't feel like they're ignoring me. I don't feel that at all. But when that happens, one, I look and I'm like, all right, God, you got a sense of humor. You mean I need to come to you with this and not my friends? And then they all want to call me back at the same time.
I get it.
And
Yes.
I'm like, not doing that right now with you. When I needed you, where were you? But I fully realize that when that happens, so now I don't call five people anymore. After the third person and I don't get anyone, I'm like, all right, God, I got a lot going on here. I need to offload. I just need to offload this and then I can come back.
Yep.
So that's the funniest part for me. Like
Oh,
five
I so really,
people.
I totally really, I've went way less than that. Genevieve saying she deals with her mental health and the ways that she goes and spends time at the beach. She's blessed to be here in South Florida and spends a lot of time her in the beach and some quiet to really quiet down the head and do whatever she needs to do there.
Yeah.
Thank you, Genevieve, for that. Anything else you want to share, please put it in there. Um, yeah. So that used to be a bunch of people. And in my leadership training, it happened to me. Like you, it's literally three maximum. Now I think I've gotten it down to two. If I'm like two in a row, I'm like, no, I'm not supposed to talk to anybody about this. I know when I go to three or four or five, really this is the awareness. I know I'm trying to come up with some outcome or come up with some, like I'm trying to control it. And then
Mm.
I'm like dialing and I'm like, then by five, I'm like, okay, I got it. Like I'm at that like place. I'm at red. But it's
Yeah.
interesting. That's where it is. It's really, it used to be like three like you. And I'm like, whoop, yep, nope. And then everybody calls you back and you're like, no, no, no. Like, nope, nope,
Yeah.
nope.
I'm
And
like, I'm good now. Thanks. Bye.
yeah. And they're like, what? Why'd you call? All good.
But you're gonna hear different ways of taking care of your mental health and their suggestions. Find the way that works for you that is conducive to your well-being and
Yeah.
take that for whatever you want to take that to mean.
Yeah.
However, exercise is great. It's kind of hard to be stressed out and upset and you are releasing endorphins. It just doesn't work, right? It doesn't work. I can't still be upset and endorphins are being released because endorphins make you happy.
Yeah.
People talk about doing yoga and breathing, taking walks, going on the beach, talking to a friend, maybe watching your favorite TV show. You have to find what works for you. Protecting your mental health is so important because when that fades, eating a good, healthy meal, I have to say healthy, a good, healthy meal. Maybe you didn't eat all day and you didn't realize it. And that's happened to me a couple of times last
Hmm.
week where also I wasn't drinking enough water. And there are times you guys will see me here and I'm drinking water. I don't think I did that enough last week. So we've got to start, like Red said, being mindful and in tune with ourselves. What is it that my body needs that is not getting?
Yeah. I love
Because
it.
it's going to impact here.
I got this great okay, I've got some more little stuff here. Susan says, a lifetime of learned techniques of introspection from self-awareness of what works and doesn't work in the way she is in the world.
Mm-hmm.
She's got some regular conversations with some trusted friends and in trusted communities, and an immediate call if needed. Like she got an immediate dial like person, and then she does some auto writing, are some of the things that she loves to do too.
Okay, that's great.
Michael, thank you, Susan. Michael Embry, thanks for being on tonight. He says, I have a small group of 3 people that I talk to every day. We discuss our issues and we try to provide solid results for each other.
Mm.
He also says, and just watching some funny videos on social media sometimes helps his. I am with you, Michael. It's funny because Raquel was, when Susan brought up the comedian, I've went off from listening to the radio because I do so much music all the time. So there are 2 things. When I'm for mental health, I'm like you. I've got a great uh, XM, radio channel. Well, there's like 6 of them. So I've got these, just comedian channels, and sometimes it's just go right there. And then I do also have some really special, like I'd like to say my empowering channels. It's usually like Christian radio, Christian rock, because I got some people I listen to, and there are certain songs that I know when I need to get it out, boom, I can even just put that up on my phone, connect that to my radio, and find that song and whoo, sing that out. It's like, so I do have my own. That's great. That's a great one too. Yep, some fun social media. I do have a question for people though. I'm going to put it up here because we are already talking 45 minutes, and this has been amazing. And I'm just, kind of bringing it all together when we're talking about, your asks. What is maybe one decision that you need to step into tonight to finally give your mental health the peace it deserves? Right? Like, what is something? Michael just shared some stuff. Raquel shared some stuff. Susan shared some stuff. I shared some stuff. Is there something here? And it's a good question to ponder on. But those who
Mm.
are on, if you're here, is there something extra, that thing that rises you past what we just talked about, that you need, that you might want to step into tonight, that you're thinking about stepping into tonight to finally give you that mental health peace that you deserve? Because at the end of the day, we're kind of putting this all together. Freedom isn't just, this conversation that we're talking about, or today, many people put flags on their lawn, right? It's peace inside our own minds. And tonight, we are having this deep conversation about, choosing to stop asking permission
Mm.
to protect our own peace. I'm choosing to stop asking permission to protect my own peace. It's our mental health and our mental wellness is our responsibility. It's our birthright. So ask and you shall receive. And that's really like the thing that I kind of got this whole couple of months together. We're blessed. I mean, beyond blessed. And my mental health and my life and the way my own peace is definitely my responsibility and only my responsibility. And I choose to make it as big as I want it to be, because I have an impact on immediately, a young human being in my life and another person who I am married to in my life. But it's also, I love the conversation that it's my birthright, right? I'm here and I'm alive. I'm blessed to be here. So I'm walking away with stop asking permission to protect my own peace.
Mm.
I just got really present to that. I'm like, I do that often, like this asking permission. It's, and I'm not saying like, yes, there are times to ask permission, everyone. But my own peace, that's that boundaries things we were talking about. I might upset people if in my own family, but if it's for peace of mind and, my own well being, I'd rather have them be upset for a few minutes so that I can be well, and then everything can always be resolved for me in a conversation. So
Yeah.
thanks for that.
Awesome. I love it. It is our responsibility to take care of our mental health.
Yeah.
We get to do that.
Susan
So,
is saying she's moving more. Enough with the couch potato. She's recovering from very from various calamities. And so she's starting to do the exercise and the movements that she knows to do.
Awesome.
And in the language of Genevieve says, letting go today is loving yourself unconditionally for her. That's what she is taking
I
out of it.
love that.
Her
I love
decision
the
is
unconditional part.
with lots. She wrote unconditionally with hearts, 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 hearts. So thank you for choosing that. She's stepping into loving herself unconditionally, and Susan's stepping into the various exercises and movements that she knows to do, the walks and the nature for her. Michael's with the videos and having those great conversations with three of their friends every day. Whew, so good, guys. So good. I love
We
this.
love this.
Yeah.
And just a reminder, we will be here live and in color next week,
I know.
Monday.
Maybe we'll do black and white if we could, and then haha.
But no, that's a sensitive topic there. But we just no, no. But after next, just a reminder that first Monday for June, July, and August, we'll be live and in person. The remainder of the month will be the best of, unless we have an amazing guest who wants to record a show, and we will definitely let you know if that's the case and throw that there. But we want everyone to take care of their mental health. And whatever you have to do, if you have to go seek professional help, then go get it. You deserve it and you are worth it.
Mm.
Okay. Until next time, we want you to stay curious, stay grounded, and this part connects. Keep choosing you. Take care.